Hello and welcome to SAR Histories, the channel that aims to keep history alive. Today on the channel we will be exploring the National Memorial Arboretum. The National Memorial Arboretum is a site of national remembrance near Lichfield, Staffordshire. The objective of this site is to honour the fallen and recognise service and sacrifice and foster pride in the British Armed Forces and civilian community. It was Commander David Childs who conceived the idea for the Arboretum, who wished to establish a national centre for remembrance. In 1994, the then Prime Minister, John Major, launched an appeal as he believed that the Arboretum would form a living tribute to servicemen and women for future generations to reflect upon and enjoy. The project began with no money, land, no staff and no trees. The National Lottery granted 40% of the funds needed, and the rest was raised by thousands of donations from a wide variety of organisations. Planting began on the reclaimed gravel workings gifted by Tarmac Lafarge in 1997, and the planting of trees began. The Arboretum officially opened on the 16th of May 2001 and underwent a large-scale regeneration project that was officially opened by the Duke of Cambridge on the 23rd of March 2017. Today, the Arboretum has over 30,000 trees, with more being planted each year, and there are over 350 memorials for you to explore. At the heart of the Arboretum is the Armed Forces Memorial, which lists the names of over 16,000 people who have lost their lives in conflict or as a result of terrorism since the end of the Second World War. It is sad seeing the names, but most sinister of all was the empty space, yet to be engraved. Other areas include a RAF wing, Naval Review and Army Parade. Civilian areas include the Beat, which contains memorials to the police forces around the UK and Commonwealth. Within the Arboretum is a chapel of peace and forgiveness, where at 11 AM each day an act of remembrance takes place. In September 2021, a remembrance grade was unveiled by the Royal British Legion, featuring plants chosen for their symbolic meanings in relation to grief and new beginnings. The Arboretum is well tended and easy to explore around the many memorials. Though there are paths for you to follow, a lot of memorials are off these paths, something to think about if visiting when raining. Each of the memorials are well kept and are easy to read. If you are looking for a certain memorial and cannot find it, the staff are happy to point you in the right direction. Even children have not been forgotten, with this striking memorial to those separated from their families during the Second World War. The Scouts also have their own memorial, which was of personal interest to my wife as she is a leader at our local group, and it was her auntie who unveiled the man wearing the knickers. The bravery of the police force that protects us is also remembered with this unique memorial, for it is they that run towards the danger as we run from it. The men and women of the Royal Ulster Constabulary and the Ulster Defence Regiment also have their own memorial. In each section of the Arboretum there are benches for you to sit and reflect. Also, poppies can be bought from the gift shop so that you can place as a mark of respect. The area set out for the Navy had some interesting memorials, ranging in shape and size, but it was this simple blue plaque which caught my attention. Each tree behind it represents a ship from the Royal Mail Lines, which was sunk during the Second World War. There is also this gun memorial to the merchant ships that was of great interest, and I thoroughly enjoyed exploring. This memorial garden to the National Association of Memorial Masons caught my intrigue with their impressive display of headstones, these two copies of Roman tombs being my favourite. More importantly, no community is left out and serves as a reminder of the multicultural sacrifices made for our country. There is recognition also for civilian sacrifices, like this memorial to miners who made a huge contribution to the war effort during the First World War. There are so many memorials here that you could easily spend a whole day visiting each. As I wandered the paths around the Arboretum, I began to think about just how big the British Empire was, and it was great to see that those that served it are honoured. There is also a sinister tone at the Arboretum. Though it is a beautiful place with some magnificent memorials, it is easy to forget that it represents thousands of lives lost because of war, because of mankind's folly. Until this monument was erected, There was none in Britain to all the Polish across Europe, who lost their lives during the Second World War. Polish forces served with the Allies from the first day to the last, and it is fitting that they are honoured alongside their allies. The Shot at Dawn Memorial commemorates the 306 British and Commonwealth soldiers executed by a firing squad for cowardice or desertion during the First World War. The memorial is modelled on Private Herbert Burden of the 1st Battalion Northumberland Fusiliers, who was shot in 1915 aged just 17. Each post represents a person executed, all of whom received a pardon in 2007. There is so much more here than shown in this video, and I highly recommend that you visit, and will cost you just £4 for parking. There are places where you can donate if you want to or if able to. SAR Histories would like to thank all those represented at the Arboretum, and those that serve today, military and civilian, for you are the true heroes that history shall remember. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next time. Until then, goodbye.